Anyone who says that money can't buy happiness has clearly never been inside a bookstore. And certainly not one like Chaucer's, Darcy Archer thought proudly, glancing around the gorgeous place she was lucky enough to work in. The space was snug and inviting, with a vaguely Dickensian feel to it, by way of its floor-to-ceiling hardwood shelves and filigree gold signwriting above each section. The Victorian panelled bay window and festive-themed window display evoked old-fashioned storefronts of times gone by, as did the scroll effect store sign hanging just outside the entrance. Catering to its well-heeled Upper West Side neighbourhood, the little shop carried an eclectic mix of literature in a variety of genres, early edition classics, as well as popular bestsellers for adults and children. Book lovers and gift seekers alike adored Chaucer's. Its cheerful, experienced staff and homey atmosphere made it the perfect place to spend an afternoon wandering amongst the shelves or hunting down an elusive title. At this time of year, with just over a week to go before Christmas, the store was decked out in its holiday finest, fairy lights strung along the shelves, homemade glitter snowflakes hanging from the exposed rafters above, and the evocative aroma of cinnamon wafting from the tiny cafe on the first floor. "Excuse me, I'm looking for a book." Darcy glanced up from the shelving cart to see an older woman hovering uncertainly nearby. She looked to be in her late 50s, well-maintained and manicured, dressed in an expensive coat and scarf, and clutching one of last decade's most luxurious handbags, which Darcy knew, thanks to her fashion maven Aunt Catherine, was easily worth at least 3 of her monthly paychecks. Looking for a book in a bookstore? If she only had $1 for every time she'd heard that one, Darcy thought to herself. But she gave the woman a warm smile. "Let's see if I can help. What's the title?" The woman bit her lip. "That's it, I can't remember, but I know it's by a female author with 3 names, and there are 4 daughters in it, although one has a boy's name, I think. And it's Christmas time, and as far as I know they want to buy themselves presents, but then think better of it and buy one for their mother." The woman's voice trailed off and she stared at the shelves helplessly. Darcy slipped a stray rock of raven black hair behind one ear. No matter what she did with it, which admittedly wasn't little, it would never stay put. "Is this a new release?" she asked. "Oh no, my dear, it's a classic." The woman's eyes refocused and her voice grew almost haughty. "I'm surprised you don't know it. Have you been working here long?" Darcy had to smile. Actually, she was manager of Chaucer's and had been working in the store for almost 6 years. Yet she was supposed, with minimum description, to magically identify the book in question amongst the millions published. Still, she did love a challenge. "Now you say there are 4 sisters and an author with 3 names?" she asked, gently guiding the woman towards the classic literature aisle. "Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say you may well be looking for Little Women by Louisa May Alcott." The woman grimaced. "I'm not sure." "There are 4 sisters, and one of them, Jo, has a vaguely masculine name." Darcy pulled a thin red book from the shelf, the pages edged with gold, and presented it to the woman. "Oh," she said, "that is beautiful." She examined the book from top to bottom and inside and out, marvelling at its rich leather binding and the original illustrations scattered throughout. "Is it intended as a gift?" Darcy asked. The woman smiled. "Yes, a Christmas present for my 12-year-old granddaughter." Darcy guessed that the girl's grandmother was acting on a recommendation and had never had the pleasure of reading Little Woman herself, which was a shame. It was one of Darcy's favourites, and Alcott's famous quote about books turning the brain described her pretty well. Darcy was indeed too fond of books, a condition known as bibliolatry. She almost always had at least one book on the go close by, and felt almost naked without a novel on her person. Darcy had been enveloped in a story every single day of her life for as long as she could remember, and tended to use every opportunity to indulge in her greatest pleasure.